We good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, sipping on his Gatorade.
Hey, right. I don't know, where do we start? So, I feel like you should just introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Stephn, and I'm an artist. I'm a creative director. I'm a stylist. I'm a whole bunch of things, but like under a general umbrella of being a creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say I'm a creative, so I don't confine myself to something. And yeah, I was born in New York, and I was raised in Nigeria, and also here in DC.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been seeing a lot of different cultures and stuff.
Right.
So I'm like a melting pot, kind of. Yeah.
I don't even know how do we even how do we just get into the topic? Because because we were talking.
We were just talking.
We were talking a lot.
Yeah, we were talking a lot. But what was we talked about something. I forget. We talked about originality.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And just how how as humans we're always recycling ideas. So like I never really understood like where originality came from, like how something becomes like original, like your own.
Yeah.
Where like everything feels like
it's been done before.
Yeah, like it's been done before, and like I think we concluded that like it just matters how you execute.
Yeah, it's like how you execute it, and
Yeah.
also how you brand it yourself. Like make it yourself.
Make it yourself.
Because I mean, there's always something like like say you put out something like Twitter is always going to find something that relates to that, and it's the same exact thing. Yeah, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
So how do you, as an artist, find your originality? Do you feel like anything that you've done has been done before?
Well, I feel like I'm inspired by people, but I still try to. So basically, like I can hear a sound, right, by like someone I really look up to. Let's say D'Angelo, right, and I'm just like, wow, like this is dope. But this was like back in the day, like decades ago, that like he did this, and like I can find a way to kind of like bring that back, but with a touch of like the current R&B, and then also like tell my story with it too. I feel like that like personalizes it like a lot.
Definitely.
From like what he did. So yeah, then it comes back to the like adding your own like touch to it, like how you execute it. So for the most part, I would say like I'm inspired. I'm inspired by people, but like I still add my own story to it. I still add my own spin to it because like then it just wouldn't be mine. I feel like
right.
Yeah.
Is it a issue when you try to do that and someone like shuts it down and be like
calls me out on this?
Yeah, like be like, oh, you're copying or something like that.
I mean, low key, somebody has done that. Somebody has done that. But I feel like a lot of people are like low key like ignorant to certain things. Like for example, this is the perfect example. Oh my god. My friend sent me a beat, right? I listened to the beat, and automatically I came up with an arrangement in my head. I started putting it down. And because the thing with me is when I get like a melody, like an arrangement in my head, I have to put it down and like I sing it into my phone. And I keep it for later. So when I'm like in the studio, I can remember it and put it down. So I went to the music room on campus and like I put it down. And then I called up my friend who has like a in-house studio, and I was like, yo, like I have a song, I want to come put it down, see how it sounds. So I went over there, I spent the whole morning putting that shit down, and then I had posted a snippet on my story, right? What the fuck is my co-star saying? I posted a snippet on my story, and this one dude replied to the snippet. He was like, oh, this sounds very Solange-like. And I'm like, first of all, like, yeah, I draw inspiration from Solange and like Blood Orange and like all these like all the new people right now. Well, Solange isn't new, but like just but like still like it's like but still, it's like there's a wide range of artists that create that are like pushing this type of genre because that's what comes naturally to them. Yeah. So I feel like for you to say, oh, this is very Solange-like, it just means that like Solange is probably the only artist from that genre that you listen to. Yeah. Like there's a whole bunch of artists that are putting out like new like alternative type style like R&B music. So it's just like I feel like most of the times people are very ignorant as to like the things they say. So it's like I can't really let that like phase me or like stop me from doing what I want to do at the end of the day.
Exactly. Like and it also falls down into like I don't know, you just can't like just like you said, you can't let that get to you. Like you just can't. You just gotta keep going.
You know,
And because I mean that shit happens to me. And the thing is, it happens to every artist really. And that's like how you know.
Do you want to know something crazy? For example, Cardi B's Bodak Yellow. Wasn't it Kodak's? Wasn't it inspired by Kodak's song? You know how many people probably told her, "Oh, nah, don't put this shit out."
Yeah, exactly.
And then she put it out, and look where it got her.
Exactly.
Like, it's like, at the end of the day, if you listen to people, like, I feel like you're only hindering yourself. I mean, obviously take, like, constructive criticism. Like, if it's, like, this is too similar, like, add your own. Like, if somebody's giving you constructive criticism, I feel like that's something you don't necessarily have to take, but you need to, like, at least, like, kind of analyze, like, okay. But, like, for someone to just, like, say, like, stuff like that, like, nah.
I mean, yeah. It's, I don't know.
You know?
That kind of, but that also shows you how strong someone is, like, in the art world. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that continue to do art that haven't, like, I can say, like, for myself, like, since I was little, I always wanted to do art. It just became a thing. So, like, everything that I've had an idea about has been an idea since I was a kid. So, like, I bring it out now, and it's like somebody's already did it, or like, and then I can't let that get to me because I mean, I know I've been here.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Some people aren't like creatively driven, so like when shit like that happens, they're like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna.
I don't have the resources. I don't have this.
Right? They're gonna make that better than me, but it's like no, like you just gotta keep going. Yeah, because I mean. Because you never know, like some people can fuck with your shit instead of theirs, or like it's a.
But I feel like we should still acknowledge the fact that there is still low-key plagiarism. Or, what's the word? No. Because some niggas be wild. Some niggas be wildin'. Some niggas be wildin'. Like I'm not gonna say that. But I saw some wild shit like on Instagram. Of this one girl, she had posted this one dude had posted a video. Dude, I know had posted a video at Pride, right? And he had like a song, one of Daniel Caesar's songs, right? And basically the theme of it was basically like highlighting portraits and stuff, and like people with different like color hair and stuff like that. So he went around Pride like making like a video, like an editorial type style video, and then months later, this one girl does the exact same thing, and her shit is like going viral. And it's just like it's weird. Like, but she used the exact same song. She used the exact same concept. That's just plagiarism.
I mean, it's plagiarism, but it's when people have resources, they all automatically have a one up on whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like on the little people, quote unquote. So
it sucks.
It's some shit. It's bullshit. And that's also, I mean, and then that can go into like insecurities, you know? Like, do you feel insecure about some things that people say, and does it like fuck your mentality up a little bit about like, because you know there's a lot of like people that aren't receptive to how you sound, you know what I mean?
So if I'm being completely honest, the most nerve-wracking and stressful part of like my journey so far, like because I've been putting music out for like a year and a half now. And the most stressful part I would say is when I put out my project. Like after I put out my project, does that make sense? So like I spent months working on this project, right? I went to LA. I was songwriting. I was arranging all my stuff, melodies, harmonies, everything I came up with by myself. And I was enjoying the process, like everything was going really well, no insecurities. I was like, yo, this shit is about to slap. Like, I can't wait for this shit to drop. And we're just like, because I have like a whole team of people, so like we're just bouncing ideas like in the studio. We're in the studio like 6 times a week. Like every day we're going to the studio, like piecing shit together, multiple studios, and like everything was fun. Everything was games. And another thing is, I didn't put out a single. I just put out my first project. Like so
Mind Don't Matter was like.
Mind Don't Matter was in my project. Like it wasn't a single. Mind Don't Matter would have been the single if I put out a single. But I put out my project because like I had like a deep feeling that like I wanted to tell a story and I didn't want to leave any pieces out. So I put out the project and then I went into like deep depression. Like right after I put it out, because I was like, I don't know how people are gonna take it now. It's like literally like carrying a baby and then finally like having it out in the world, and it's like I don't know how people are gonna like receive
it.
That's
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, like
that's
I don't
exactly
know.
How it feels.
I don't know the reaction I'm about to get. Like, what if this shit is trash?
Right.
Like, what if this shit? Like, what if all our plans? What if like how like what about all these people who just put in all their hard like efforts to like see this shit go up and like. What are we gonna do? Like, like it was so many things coming at once, so many reviews, so many like, and like I feel like I was seeking acknowledgement from a lot of people that I didn't get either. So that's definitely one of the things. Especially like when you put out something that you put your exactly. Like there's certain people you're like, oh, I know he's gonna fuck with my shit, and then you don't hear back from him or you don't hear from that person, and it's just like, oh shit, that low-key hurt my heart.
Yeah.
And then but like it's like so much shit that happened at that time that I just I started shutting down and like it got to a point I didn't even want to listen to my project. like I didn't want to listen. Like it sounds terrible, but I didn't want to listen to my project. But guess what? I still had to perform those songs, so I had to go back to it. Yeah. But like I definitely felt like insecure about what I put out and everything. But I kind of had to go back to the root of why I started making music. Right. To begin with. Yes. I'm not making music for anyone. If I'm being quite honest with you, I don't care. Like I don't care about streams. I don't care about like none of that. I'm putting out music because like I enjoy the process. Like I come up with these ideas. I mean, now everything is getting like, if I'm being honest, like I feel like everything is getting like a lot more streamlined for me because now like we're like booking like shows and like we're like trying to do a lot of things. Like my manager, so like. Now, like everything's getting a little bit more streamlined because like I feel like I'm making music that like I want, but I'm also making music that will like appease others because like we need to be able to go out there and like reach out to people.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a business.
Yeah, it's a business exactly. So now the like business side of things is kicking out. Yeah. So it's just like now I need to like now I'm like working with other people too. I'm working with songwriters. I'm going out to New York working with producers. Like I wasn't doing that before. Yeah. But like there has to be some trajectory. But for the most part, after that project, like I felt very insecure about my work. But I had to just go back to the.
Did you honestly like your project? Like, did you feel like it was your best work?
Can I be honest? Okay, at the time, I thought it was like the best work, right? Yeah. But now, knowing what I'm capable of doing now, I'm like, okay, maybe there was like 1 or 2 songs there that I really really fuck with. But like ultimately, do I think like that's my best work? I mean, probably not. But then again, like a lot of people like. I feel like a lot of people hate their first project. Like for example, Mac. Like Mac hated his first project, but look how far he's come now. Right. So like I feel like it's like there's definitely songs there. Like it's a story. Like it's a chapter in your life. I feel like even for you too. Like you put out like a project and it's like. And like the next one you put out will be better, but it doesn't like discredit the one you put out before because that was like a point in your life.
I believe like when I started Napism, like I believe that first issue was the classic because it was the first. It was the first issue, yeah. And then the second one and the third one came, and then like that was when I started to feel like, all right, we're just putting shit out. Like, we're just trying to get our name out there. But that's what you do it for. Like that first thing, especially when you're an artist, that first thing is always like something that sets the tone.
And that's how you build your core supporters.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you build, because like, bro, like, say 10 years from now, like, I probably wouldn't be doing as many songs from this last project, but to be able to do a song from that project and have people like
and be like,
oh, back to me,
missed this.
Yeah, like that would be crazy. Like you know, like that was the first shit. Like that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, putting out that first issue for me was like, all right, because I didn't even know what the fuck I wanted to do. I was just like, let's just put some shit out.
Yeah.
But I had a vision. Like, I knew exactly.
And you enjoyed the process, right?
Bro,
because it wasn't streamlined. Like
that, the first issue, that process was probably the best.
The best, like, right? Yeah.
Because it was so like, all right, we got to be here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's talk to this artist. Talk to this artist. And it was so fun just to meet people. And then like as time went by, it just became a job.
Yeah.
And that was when it kind of like fell through and like the fun went out because the business aspect.
Yeah, that's like the business aspect.
That's the worst part.
That's
the worst part. Like I know, like you have like, you probably have somebody who's like you make a song, right? You think this shit's fire. Yeah. And then like somebody be like, oh. Nah, because like the people, that's not the sound right now. Like you gotta like go with the sound. It's not gonna get a stream. It's not gonna, and it's like, bro, what? Like this shit is hard. I don't give a fuck what nobody else says. Yeah. Like so, I mean, and then that's just.
But I feel like this is another thing too. I feel like because I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, you low key like with music, like I feel like you have to. Well, I don't want to compromise, but for the most part, that's basically what they were telling me. That you basically have to compromise, and then get your shit out, and then you can come back to the original sound you wanted to pursue. But I'm like, what if you just ran with the original sound you wanted to pursue, and niggas catch on to it? And then you just make it on, but it's like, what are the odds? Like, how many people have made it through that? Like, there's people, but they haven't made they haven't broken. What's the word? They haven't blown up. Yeah, you know.
But
they're still authentic to the original sound.
That's something that is probably the worst thing in music that people have to. You have to do it. Like, you have to do what is going on right now. Yeah. Just so you can get your foot in the door. Yeah. You can't really start off the way you want. It's not like a... Yeah, you gotta,
it's terrible.
Yeah, you gotta wait. I mean, you can start off the way you want, but you gotta put it in a way...
So, for example, if there's a 7-song project, right? At least... 5 of those songs will be for the general public, and then 2 can be for you. Like that's literally, I don't know, like that's such a fucked up.
And some people, and the people that listen to the project, that 7 EP project or whatever, might like those 2 that you are just
If they do, then great. But I feel like I don't know. That shit is weird. Like my friend was telling me, I don't listen to Charlie Puth. I don't know who the fuck is that. Oh, you don't know who that is? No. There's one who sang that "See You Again" song with Wiz Khalifa for
the "See You Again."
Yeah.
Oh, he sung that.
Yeah, he's the one who did the chorus.
I didn't hear any other song after that.
After that, yeah, I didn't either. But my friend was just telling me how he really wanted to do like his country-esque songs, but they knew he needed to do songs that would appeal to the general public, whatever. Right. So he had to put out a project that was for everyone, and then once after that blew up, he went to start doing the shit he wanted to do. Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting, but just imagine if you can blow up on your original sound. Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
But I mean that just goes with the process. I mean you're also sharpening your sword if you create music that is feasible to others, because it's not usually what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like stepping outside of your box. That's the best thing to do to get better at anything.
That's another way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I never really like, and especially in photography, I didn't shoot different people. Like I was just literally shooting friends and stuff like that. But once I started to shoot different people, I started to get more better and like,
because then you have to like adapt to like certain people.
Yeah, to like what they like.
Yeah.
So it's like that's exactly how you build up versatility.
Yeah. The thing about like because I've worked with a whole bunch of photographers, right? And I feel like the best ones, the one that I really like fuck with, like the outcome of what we create, are the ones that are like coaches. So like they guide you to, I mean, obviously like know what the fuck you're doing, but at the same time like they're able to guide you as to like, because I feel like as a photographer, right, you have an eye, and so you can see certain things, but you kind of have to like move the person, like the model around a little bit so they can like fit what you're seeing, right? And I feel like you have to be able to coach them to be able to like fall into the place, like fit into that puzzle. And I feel like the best work comes out when like you guys are able to do that, because like I feel like there's like, I've worked with photographers that are just like, oh yeah, just stand there and do what you want, and like the pictures come out and it's not translating. So like
I mean, it's different for me because I feel like the best photos are the ones that are like the ones that you don't expect to be the best photos. So like you could be doing whatever. Like I like in the moment type thing. So you can be doing whatever, and I can just start shooting, and then like something out of that is gonna come. Like with one of the photos that I took, I just told him to jump, and all he did was jump, and then it became my best photo. So I had no idea. Like it's like one of those things, but. I also tried to because I can't think about what I want out of something just by looking at it, because I don't know, so I just had to like start shooting shit, like just randomly shooting whatever, and whatever comes out of that I'll probably love. I don't have like pre-drawn out like poses and stuff like that. Just has to be organic. Like it just has to be in the moment.
I like organic a lot.
So earlier you said you went to like a deep depression. For your project. How did you cope?
Honestly, like I made a list. I'm glad you actually brought that up, because I made a list before I went to one of my shows earlier this year. I was performing at Songbird, and I never really do this, but I kind of like stopped my set to kind of like talk to the audience, and like, because at the time, like, I feel like there's a certain point where everyone's just kind of like going into seasonal depression. And I'm just like, because I've been through that multiple times, and I feel like the best way to cope with it is being able to communicate, like, and learn from like other people and how they're coping, and kind of like individualize that, and like make it like figure out a way you can cope for yourself, knowing that okay, this person has been through this, and like they were able to get out this way, so I'm going through this right now, but I need to try to pull myself out of it. So the first thing I said, I can't remember everything verbatim, but the first thing I said was basically knowing that you knowing that you have your support system. So I feel like that's very, very, very important, because because depression is very like crazy, and like it hits you so crazy that like you feel like there's nobody around you can talk to. You feel like everyone is going through shit. Like he's like I would feel like my closest friend is like going through shit. So why would I project my shit on him?
Exactly.
You know? So I just wouldn't bring it up and like talk to him about it. So I feel like just knowing your support system is there for you, like showing love to others, because like just like generally just like showing love, like, and that energy will just lift your spirit. And another thing I said was like basking in your spirituality. Like, well, I don't know, like, cause I'm a Christian, and like whatever religion you are, or like whatever you believe in, I feel like just being able to have faith and believe in something that you're gonna be able to like pull yourself out of like your depression, like that helps a lot. And then I went back to again like spreading love, and also what was the other one? I had like a full on list of like everything like I do to try to like cope with like depression and stuff. And just kind of like, but and mostly like in the summary, I just kind of like had to reach out, like do things out of the norm, like cause my days are pretty much planned out. Like I literally write down what I'm gonna do within the day, and I go and I do everything. But like just stepping out of your box, like going out for a walk, like doing stuff like that, or like trying. Cause at that point, I wouldn't even recommend trying to create because I feel like you need to have a clear mental space for you to be able to create.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't even say like create, like if you get inspiration, write it down for sure. But like I feel like you should just worry about like getting your head clear and just pulling yourself out of there. Cause like for me, like a toxic trait I realized I had this year was kind of like having a slippery slope of like depression. So basically like I said, I'm a very calculated person. I think it's the Capricorn in me. And so like everything is just like da 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 da. Like everything has to go a certain way. So when a piece of the puzzle falls out, my whole shit starts crumbling.
Exactly.
So it's like that. So that's how that was a toxic thing that happened to me in 2019. Like things would be going really well, one thing falls out, and everything starts crashing down. And I realized I couldn't let that happen to myself. And like it's draining to constantly pull yourself out of that hole. Like if you're letting yourself fall in, it gets draining, pulling yourself out. And I feel like it would even get draining for people around you, watching you getting that hole and constantly trying to pull yourself out when you could put in that effort and try to not get in that hole. And
exactly.
You know, so I just feel like utilizing all your resources when you get to that stage, when you fall in that hole, is like very important.
Yeah. I feel like, just like how you said, having a support system is probably you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I think I would be dead if it wasn't for like
your support
my
system.
brother.
Yeah, like and the thing is, support system doesn't even have to be family.
Yeah,
because if your family doesn't support like what you're doing, I know some people don't. Some families are like, nah, like go, like you don't have to be a creative. Like go do some shit else. Like go do corporate or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be your immediate family, but just having someone that you know supports you, and like understands.
Right.
Like
because I fell into a depression in summertime 2018. I was like losing weight. I was mad depressed. It was all for something that I didn't want to be depressed about, but I was. And how I cope with it, like, I mean, how it began was just like, I was just eating myself alive, just staying in my house, isolated, and you feel it. Like, when you're in your room or in, like, a negative space.
By the way, stay off social media.
Right, oh my God. Bro.
Stay off social media, bro.
I swear to God.
Stay off social media, because you will feel mad unproductive.
Yeah, so I was just in the bed. I felt like I was like a hospital patient, just in the bed, just rotting away. And I didn't go out. I didn't walk. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't have money. So, like, not having money fueled that too. And just everything else, just watching everybody go out and enjoy the world. I was getting upset at my phone.
That's another thing we should talk about too, like finances.
Yeah.
Creative.
Yeah. But it's like, dog, why am I doing this to myself? And I would tell myself that, but I'll keep doing it. And it's like, damn. So, like, I tried to get out, and I tried to enjoy, but I tried to create something. And that didn't work, because I felt like it just wasn't doing anything. Like, I didn't feel it. So it was like, fuck. So I spent my days crying, contemplating on death. You know what I'm saying? Like, self-infliction was, like, probably on my head, like, all the time when I was depressed. But once I got out and once I started, you know what I'm saying? Because my brothers are like my base. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they are the only people. They're the only people that I could confide in and I can actually cry to, and they're men. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's good to acknowledge that too, because I feel like not everybody has that.
Yeah, no. Not everybody has that.
That's crazy, but
yeah. I mean, I feel like especially this whole, like, be a man, like, man don't cry type shit. Like, that shit is kind of like, that shit's old. Like, I've been crying to my brother. It's like, we all cry together. And it's fine. It's okay. Because at the end of the day, you always need somebody to cry to.
Yeah. And at the very least, like, my advice to creatives, too, like, even if you feel like you can't cry to your family or, like, your best friends, please try to find somebody that you can be able to express yourself to.
Yeah.
So I have friends that are not necessarily creatives, but they've grown up with this, like, hyper-masculinity thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm, like, the one that's, like, kind of trying to break them out of that. Like, I would be sitting there, like, trying to get them to, like, tell me about their emotions.
Yeah.
And they're like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not trying to talk about that. But I'm like, bro, you need to talk about these things. Like, I know it's on your mind, and I'm asking you to, like, talk to me about it. So, nigga, talk to me about it. Right. Like, there's no point in trying to act like, oh, we're men, like, boys don't cry, like, you know, this, like, bro, just tell me what you're going through, and, like, odds are I'll be able to, like, I might not be able to actively help you, but the fact that you're able to, like, talk to someone about it will help. Yeah. And I've seen, like, results, like, now they're starting to open up to me, like, open up to each other, so that's good.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I'm really happy you had that support system, bro, because, like, I've seen people who, like, don't have that. Yeah. So you kind of have to deal with everything on your own. I've seen them pull themselves out of it still, but it's like, I feel like they're not really fulfilled. Yeah. I feel like that's something you should feel fulfilled about, pulling yourself out of, like, deep depression. Like, it's definitely something
I feel like you should feel fulfilled about expressing emotions. Yeah. Because, as you know what I'm saying, as a black man growing up in a black household with, like, a hyper masculine man in my household, like, I couldn't cry to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't say anything, or I couldn't, like, it was like, oh, don't be a sissy, blah, blah, type shit. So it's like, bro, what? Like, once I got older and realized I can just start crying, and people be like...
Because you need to let the emotions out.
Like, because everybody needs a good cry at the end of the day. Because I damn sure cry a lot. A lot. I cried. I haven't cried recently, but I cried a lot.
When's the last time I cried? I can't remember the last time I cried. But that's a good thing.
Last time I cried was probably in the summertime.
Really?
Yeah. That was probably the last time. The last time I had a hard cry was probably on my birthday.
No shit.
Yeah. Because that shit was crazy. But, yeah, it wasn't, none of that shit was good. But that was the last time I cried. Yeah. Sure was.
Utilizing all the resources is very important to, like, support yourself. I'll, like, reach out to people. Don't ever, like, feel the need. Like, it's easier said than done, though. But, like, just never feel like you're alone with stuff. Yeah. And stay off social media, for God's sakes. Like, it's hard, but I had to remove like, this summer, I had to remove myself. And it was hard, but I had to do it. Because I promise you, like, a lot of shit is just numbers. A lot of shit. We had this conversation too. Like, a lot of this shit is just numbers. Like, people are still looking at your shit. Keep putting out your best work. Yeah. If you feel uninspired, if you feel like you're down, go clear your head. Right. Like, take a break from it.
But and the thing is, it's with social media that we feel like we're missing out. It's FOMO, bro.
It's FOMO. It's literally FOMO.
It's the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Like, I could watch somebody be in California and I'll be upset. Yeah. I'll be like, yo, why am I upset?
Yeah. But you know what's crazy, though? You don't know what that person is going through.
You know
what I'm saying? Like, that person could be in California crying after just posting the story that you're like, oh damn, I want to be there. Right. They could have just gone on that story and they don't have a place to live that night, or they don't have food to eat that day, or like, you know, like that's definitely a thing.
And so it's in the depression stage, I was upset. I used to get mad at sunsets. I used to feel upset by watching somebody looking at a sunset. Like, that was like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's how you know I was, like, dark. It was real dark. It was real fucking dark. If I couldn't see a sunset, then that's a fucking problem. And I was all on social media, like, all these nice sunsets. I'm like, fuck this shit. Yeah. Like, fuck that sunset.
No, like, and even on a personal scale too, like, there's people I know, like, First of all, some people at my school give me a headache because I feel like they look at me and they're like, oh, this dude is doing this, and that. Like, oh, like, how's he doing this? Like, I want to do this. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm a regular-ass kid that goes to the same school that y'all do. And, like, I'm going through real-life shit, too. Like, y'all, like, you can see me post some shit on social media or me doing this on social media, but you're not there when, like, I'm in the bathroom, like, crying and stuff. Yeah. Like, I literally had to, I was going to a studio in Brooklyn, right? I took the train. I was doing my midterm exam on the train as I was going to the studio. I got a 12-hour studio session. I was there from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Got out of my session, started taking the train back to DC, doing my second midterm. My body was leaving me. Like, I literally felt my body leaving me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why? Like, because I feel like a whole bunch, like, and at that point, I started looking on social media and I'm seeing people who are doing music full time and don't have to worry about getting their assignments in before 11:59 and doing this, or people doing school full time and not having to worry about traveling all the way to go do studio sessions and do this and that. So it's like there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes, and like I feel like it's just not valid to look at people on social media and be like, I want what they have, or damn, like I want to do this, because it's like you don't know what's going on. Exactly, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We pick what we want to show people on social media. Like, you don't know anybody through social media, like especially as of right now. I mean, there's people who put their whole life on social media. I feel like and I feel like that's how we should be using it. I don't know, but I prefer to
like for me,
control my narrative.
I personally use social media to get my shit off any type of way. Like, if I'm feeling something, and some people, like, one of my friends was like, "We're too depressing on social media." I'm like, bro, like, this is how I feel, so I'm just gonna put it out. I would never in my life show a fake smile and like post it and be like like have a happy ass quote. Like, no, I'm hurt. Like, I'm still hurt. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be happy in a while until like I have everything is consistent and I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? But that's no. So I mean, watching other people on social media is like why are y'all so like? It's just fake. It's fake. It's fake. And taking away likes isn't gonna change anything. Like, that shit is definitely not gonna change nothing. I don't give a fuck about likes. I give a fuck about where somebody is, or like them being somewhere, and I'm just like, like. But it's all about work too. Yeah, and even going off of like the social media conversation, I remember we also talked about having your work outside of social media. And like making sure your name is, and this is also another advice like for creatives that I'm taking now myself, and I'm taking into 2020. Getting your name stamped on real life things, leaving your mark is very, very important. Social media is a tool. Social media is not your portfolio. Social media is not your career. Social media is unless you're a social media influencer. Social media is not your portfolio. I mean, I guess it could be your portfolio, but you should definitely have a physical portfolio. You know what I mean? Or like have your email list, have this and that, but solely relying on social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and not having your name stamped in real life, like having, for example, doing works in museums we talked about, having your exhibitions as a photographer, having like having these real life things and like bringing people into your world in real life. Like, I feel like that's something that we need to start, as creatives, we need to start doing more. I mean, I feel like the people who we look up to are doing that. You know, they're putting their name in real time and not social media. Because social media can be gone like that, and then what happens? Nothing. Like, you would literally be nothing. And you would have to tell your kids and your grandkids, like, I was on social media.
Yeah, I was on social media doing this and that. But like, what do you have to show for it?
It's like,
imagine telling your kids, oh, like, I had an exhibition at a historic space. oh, I was able to play at the 9:30 club, opening up for this person. Like that's how you start leaving your mark. Oh, I headline at Hollywood Bowl. Like, oh, I did this, I did that. Like that's real time.
It's real time shit.
You know, not I got 2,000. I went viral on Instagram. I got 1 million views. I got this, and that. Another thing, leading into the financial talk, cloud doesn't pay bills.
Yeah,
Cloud does not pay bills. Right. Let's talk about that.
Right. Let's talk about that. But it's also, it's not to knock down anybody who's
making it off social media. Like social media influencers, like props to y'all. That's the word.
That shit is really hard at the end of the day. And if you're not a woman, that's just not going to be good for you unless you're doing some like Brother Nature or some shit.
Yeah.
But dead ass. That's why when I created Napism, I still wanted to do prints.
Yeah, and bro, that was like the best thing you did. And everybody, I'm so happy you did that, bro.
I appreciate it. Everybody, literally, all the old heads and all like the young kids was like, "Why are you doing print? Like print is dead." I'm like, no, like because it's physical shit, and it makes the person, the artist, feel like they're way more important because they're in a paper and not somewhere you can scroll and pass. You know what I'm saying? This can sit on a coffee table and be there for years, and somebody's gonna pick it up and read.
Show it to your kids. Kids. Like it can go down.
That's what I want, and I want a lineage. So it's not like fuck all this social media shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I want like my kids to grow up and be like, that's daddy's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's that's what it's all about. But all right, but fuck that. Going to fucking finances.
Yeah,
bro. Let me start off by saying I put so much money into the shit that I do, and literally, it's also about like doing it right. You know what I'm saying? You said earlier that you make music for yourself, right? That's fine. But say like you're a clothing designer, right? And you're doing that shit for yourself.
Oh, niggas still gotta buy it.
You are
still got bills.
You are literally not going to make any money. And that is one of the biggest things that I learned as an entrepreneur is that you really have to go by society and like what's in right now. Yeah. Because if you don't, then people are not going to hop on whatever you're doing and they're not going to buy it. And that shit fucked me up because I literally still have shirts in the car that have been sitting there for 2 years, just sitting in my trunk. And I'm like, I can't do anything with it because nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Because I was doing what was good for me.
Yeah, but I feel like when it comes to that though, for example, like let me ask you a question. So how did you market the shirts out?
Yeah. So, but the way I marketed it was not how it wasn't like I branded it right, but it wasn't. I just didn't have the resources to get it out. So like I feel like if I would have did it that way, like a way where I could just because what I did before. So before I had Napism, before I had anything, I just had T-shirts that said Napism U on it, right? So the way I marketed it was I just put them on my ex-girlfriend who was an influencer at the time, and I was like, in my head, because that was the time, it was like, oh, if I put it on influencers or a bunch of influencers, then people are going to buy it. No, because if it's not, it just didn't look good. So it looked cool to me, like it's hard, like it's cracked or whatever, but other people didn't really get it. So like I tried to like, you know what I'm saying, do the whole what's the definition of Napism and stuff like that, and go back and show the inspiration and shit like that.
Yeah.
That shit didn't work, so I was like, all right, bet. So, and it just didn't work. Like it's. Yeah. But
honestly, bro, like my advice to you on that is that like, if it didn't work, try again.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. and then that didn't stop me because I mean I sold out. So the first one that we sold out. It was I had 10, 20, I think it was 10, 15 shirts or whatever. Mm-hmm. Put them on. You know what I'm saying? I sold it all around, but it was local. It wasn't like all around the world type shit. Yeah. And that was like my first like real go around because I was making clothes when I was like 18. Mm-hmm. But that was like my first like time like actually selling out something. So I was like, all right, bet we sold it out, cool. Mm-hmm. Then I tried to come back and do it again, and that didn't work. So I was like, damn, so let me try some colors. Let me just bring some colors out. But in this process of me doing all of this, I'm spending money and not reciprocating anything. And that's one of the things that's like, because I was going off of what we sold out before, like, but as time went by, it started to get old. But it was never getting old to me. But to other people, it was like, what are you like? Why are you still putting this out? And I mean, they're good archive tees now. Yeah. So I can say that, like, I can still like use them. People can still wear them. You know what I'm saying? But it's not what's in right now.
Well, I want to see the shirt. I don't think I've seen it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's not in right now. So I can't get mad at that. I got to just move on with the times.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like, cause I've like, well, from what I've examined about people and even myself, when it comes to like marketing stuff, so actually getting people to pay for stuff. Yeah. The number one thing as a creative to make sure if you're trying to make money is make sure that your work is relatable. If it's not relatable, make sure you're being completely transparent about your work, because people and able to for them to be able to invest their hard-earned money to you to be able to buy a product from you, they have to be able to see some part of themselves within your work. So if I don't see myself in your work, I'm not spending $15. I'm not even spending $5 if I don't see anything in your work that kind of represents who I am, even in the slightest. You know what I mean? Right. So and the only way you can get people to kind of like see that is being transparent, right? Yeah. Being like telling a story. How did this inspire you? For example, I put out shirts. Like I made merch for like my project. And but my project was already telling a story. Yeah. So the shirt was just continuing that story and going off of that story. So people who saw themselves within my story were willing to invest in that and were able to sell out the shirts. So like, I feel like that's one thing, even just in general, like doing shows, because like I'm preparing to do like my headlining show in 2020. And like, the only way you would get people to come by $15 to come see you perform is if those people can see themselves within your music. So yeah, that again comes back to making shit that's like for everyone. Yeah. But at the same time too, like also making it like personalized. But also another part of it is also marketing too. Yeah. And marketing it in a way that like it's like also relatable to people. So like, for example, if you know your demographic is students, right? Maybe you might want to market it in a way where like the theme has to do with like college, right? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Or like maybe if you're marketing it to like a certain demographic, like do a shoot inspired by that demographic and market it that way. Like there's many different ways to like market stuff now that will like bring people in to like buy your product. Yeah. But it's definitely very hard, like you said, like you spent a lot of bread and like like I've spent bread too. Like I've seen a lot of creatives spend like bread. But it's just important to understand the fact that like you can't just be dishing out money. Like you cannot dish out money because if you're being supported by a label or if your family is supporting you, then and you have the bread to do it, by all means, like spend that bread. But if it's hard earned like money, like you just can't be dishing it out. It has to get to a point where it's like, okay, so am I making any money back? Yeah. If I'm not, should I like maybe re-examine this route that I'm taking to like, you know, maybe I should try something different. Yeah. Maybe I should, you know, try a whole different realm of creativity if this isn't working out, because you gotta pay your bills.
You literally, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, okay, I'm putting shit out. And I was happy with just putting shit out finally. and nobody could tell me anything. I had to just learn that shit on my own and just be broke. But I don't think anybody should do that. If something isn't going right, you have to look at the troubleshoot. You have definitely. You gotta be like, all right, like this is not working out, but where is it going to? Like some people like it, and I was going off of what likes too. I was going off of like how many likes I was getting. That shit wasn't good. Like, and social media is like, it's just, nothing about social media is good.
It's not. It's no. Like, because I promise you, like, if you post like when you posted those shirts, I don't think we like knew each other at the time, but if I had seen it, I fucked with it, but there was just something else in my mind. I didn't like your photo.
Right.
But does that mean that I couldn't have been a potential buyer because I didn't like the photo? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that come into play that you just gotta like kind of like just do, like at the end of the day, just do what you want. Yeah. But like, also, did you like reach out to people like personally, like
So what I started doing now, we just started every time someone either like liked the magazine or got the magazine, we just send it to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like that. Or if somebody was on the squad, like if somebody was on the team, like a new member came on the team, we just sent a shirt to them. And that's exactly how we did it. That's how we did it now. Before I was just like trying to be a t-shirt man and trying to be like, yeah, I got a t-shirt, blah, 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 play it, you know what I'm saying? This means this, blah, blah. And that was like, no. Like, it was like, and that's what people, all these other like young people that are trying to come up in the creative world feel like they need a t-shirt to start out. And that's not the case. Like, just because you make a t-shirt doesn't mean one, like, it's not gonna, people aren't gonna fuck with it. You can tell me what this means, this t-shirt means all the time, but does it look good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you branding it right? Is it marketing right?
Again, how much is like a regular t-shirt? I would say would go for the very least 15.
Yeah.
Because if you make it for like what? You make it for like 13 something, and then you have to make a profit.
So you spend the money on the t-shirts, which is like $1 a t-shirt, $1.65 a t-shirt. It's wholesale. Gildan tees, of course. Yeah. Spend that. Get the t-shirts. Go to the place. That shit's like $13 each.
Yeah, 13.
And then you sell it for what, 25?
Yeah.
But that's what people are doing. Yeah, that's what people
minimum.
Are doing. Yeah, that's what people are doing now. So they're buying all the t-shirts, right? They're buying all the t-shirts, and depending on who you are and how like your market is, they're either it's going to be 25 or 25 up. So the t-shirt can have like a square on it or some shit like that, right? Like a Supreme tee. Supreme tees, not even Supreme tees, Off-White tees are Gildan t-shirts. People were taking what Virgil did and trying to actually do that because they thought they were Virgil. So he got Gildan t-shirts wholesale, and fucking they made them like $50, $60, and gained so much money off that shit because of his market, because of who he is and what he's, you know what I'm saying, put out. People are trying to do that with no market or no following or no anything. If nobody understands you, they're not going to understand your product.
Your work,
So it's like you gotta. It's a bit that shit. Being an entrepreneur now in 2020 is literally like, if I don't know you, I'm not buying this.
Yeah, I'm not buying. Bro, like I said, like basic, like minimum price a t-shirt will go for, say, 15 if somebody's starting out.
Yeah.
Right? 15 an hour for a minimum wage in DC when you work is $15. So are you trying to tell me that I'm gonna work, like I'm gonna spend an hour's worth of hard labor on your merch when I don't see, like, I'm not just gonna throw $15 at you, you know? Like, I have to be able to see some shit in your work, or like at least some type of like effort in your work for me to do that. So I feel like creatives really need to just like, I guess, like be more open and like analyze stuff a lot better for you to be able to, like, you know, sell your work and stuff like that. Like, well, in my case, like, sell tickets. Social media is not gonna help me sell tickets. Views is not gonna help you sell tickets. Streaming is not, and that's even a harsh reality. I just realized, like my manager was telling me, she was like, streaming will not help you sell tickets. Streams will not help you sell tickets. Like, honestly, like, you can get thousands of streams, but that doesn't mean those people are gonna leave their house at night to come see you, to spend money, come see you perform, and then leave. Like, they have to be able to see your story. For them to be able to be like, okay, like, I relate to this, I'm about to go out there and pour my heart out into this show. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
That's why. Numbers suck, bro.
Yeah, it sucks.
Why the fuck are we so caught up on numbers?
It's because of social media, bro. That's literally the answer.
Oh my god.
I don't think there's a formula. Like, there's no formula to it. It's either it's either hit or miss. I don't even know if it's. I think it's like hit or miss, right?
It's hit or miss to the people who don't have followers.
Yeah.
So how people gain followers are women, because women are probably the most. Social media is made for them. It's not made for men. It's not, unless we're doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've noticed that, like, if I post a woman and if I post a man. If I post a woman, I'm getting way more likes than me posting a man, because women are what we look at every single day. So, and if I'm on the Explore page, it's because I posted a woman. It's like, it's different. It's like, so when women get on and they, you know what I'm saying, all these entrepreneurs, like, there's a bunch of women entrepreneurs, a bunch of entrepreneurs. And it's all because we like to see that. So if we don't have that, then it's like, but it's not for us. It's not for us at all. That's crazy. It is hard though. So it's like it's mad difficult.
Because when you don't know the formula, it's just kind of like, I mean, eventually when you like blow up, I guess, like, then the numbers are like, okay, like, I can see how many people are actively buying my music in this area, so I'm gonna go toward there. But starting out, like, at the end of the day, I can only speak for people who are like upcoming, because that's what I am. Like, I don't know the life of like people who are already like stars, or like who are already like broken out into the public. But like, starting out is definitely like, there's no formula to this shit.
None at all. Hold up.
Imagine if it wasn't recording this whole time.
No, it's recording. It literally, we've been here for an hour.
It's been an hour.
Yeah, it's 57 minutes.
That's crazy.
What the fuck? What?
That is cray.
Hold on, I think I'm gonna piece this up.